Imagine looking at people from different parts of the world. Some have very light skin, others have medium or brown skin, and some have very dark skin. But here's the fascinating question. Why do humans have different skin colors if we are all the same species? The answer takes us back thousands of years, to sunlight, genetics, human migration, and evolution. Let's start with the most important factor, melanin. Melanin is a natural pigment produced by special cells in our skin called melanocytes. It helps determine the color of our skin, hair, and eyes. People with more of certain types of melanin generally have darker skin, while people with less generally have lighter skin. But why did human populations develop different amounts of melanin? The biggest clue is ultraviolet radiation, or UV radiation, from the sun. For most of human history, our ancestors lived outdoors and were exposed to sunlight every day. In regions near the equator, sunlight is generally stronger and UV radiation is more intense. Over many generations, populations living in these environments tended to develop higher levels of melanin. Melanin can absorb some UV radiation and helps protect skin cells from UV-related damage. It also helps protect folate, an important nutrient involved in normal cell division and reproduction, from being broken down by excessive UV exposure. So, in areas with strong sunlight, darker pigmentation could provide an important biological advantage. But then humans began migrating. Our ancestors gradually moved from Africa into regions farther north and south. In many of these places, UV radiation was weaker, especially during certain seasons. This created a different environmental challenge. The human body needs sunlight to help produce vitamin D, which is important for normal bone development and many other biological functions. Higher levels of melanin can reduce the amount of UVB radiation reaching the deeper layers of the skin. In regions where sunlight was limited, populations with lighter pigmentation could have an advantage because their skin could produce vitamin D more efficiently under lower UV conditions. Over many generations, natural selection contributed to differences in average skin pigmentation among populations living in different environments. However, there is an important detail. Skin color is not controlled by one single gene. It is influenced by many genes working together. This is why human skin color exists on a broad spectrum rather than just a few simple categories. Two people from the same region can have noticeably different skin tones, and people from different regions can have similar skin tones. Human history also makes the story more complicated. People have migrated, mixed, and formed communities for thousands of years. So modern populations do not fit into simple biological boxes. In fact, skin color is just one of many human traits that vary between populations. Another fascinating point is that human skin color can change during a person's lifetime. Exposure to sunlight can cause the skin to produce more melanin, making it temporarily darker. This is commonly known as tanning. But tanning is different from the long-term evolutionary differences that developed across human populations over thousands of generations. So, does skin color tell us where someone's ancestors came from? It can provide some clues about ancestral environments, but it cannot tell the complete story. Human migration has been incredibly complex, and genes have moved across populations for thousands of years. And here is perhaps the most important part of the story. Different skin colors do not mean humans are different species or fundamentally different kinds of humans. Every living human belongs to the same species, Homo sapiens. Our genomes are overwhelmingly similar, and skin pigmentation is only one visible characteristic among countless traits. Scientists generally view skin pigmentation as an example of human adaptation to different environments. Think of it this way. Thousands of years of sunlight, migration, genetics, and natural selection helped create the incredible range of skin colors we see today. So when you look at human skin color, you're actually seeing a small piece of a much bigger story. A story about where our ancestors lived, how they adapted to their environment, and how humans spread across the planet. From the intense sunlight of tropical regions to the weaker sunlight of northern environments, Our species adapted in different ways while remaining one human family. Different shades, different histories, but the same species. And that is what makes human skin color so fascinating. It isn't a division between humans, it is evidence of how adaptable humans have been throughout our history.